Alright, so Warzone just came out. What do you guys need to know to set up a proper loadout and do well? When you drop in, you're not going to be able to have your loadouts from multiplayer, but you can get them through the loadout drops, and then you'll have all your perks and everything. Unless you have your loadout, you don't have any perks, so it's essential to do well. And your perk loadout also is going to help you get to that final stage and win the round. Uh, in terms of perk 1, quick fix I find is pretty good if you are finding that you're getting into gunfights, 1v1 gunfights, and you go down past your armor into your health pool. Quick fix is going to help you get that back real quick. None of your armor, but your health is going to regen. Double time will help you run through open areas, and then cold-blooded as well. It's really helpful because of how prevalent thermals are in this game. And then in terms of perk 2, Ghost is pretty good because of how cheap and how available UAVs are. You want to stay off that minimap as much as possible. Overkill, also good. You can have a assault rifle, like a fast firing one, let's say an M4, and then you can have your sniper for long ranges, or even a long range assault rifle, say a FAL, and an SMG. You want to balance it out so that you can deal with far range enemies and close range ones. Unless you have overkill on, you're gonna have to pick up a gun after you get your loadout, which isn't that big a deal, but overkill can help you get both. Say if you died, you come back in, go to a loadout drop, and then you have both automatically. You don't have to find a good sniper and get your AR class, or find a good AR and select your sniper class. Now, if you're finding that you're getting into gunfights, you're winning, but your teammates are going down, tune-up is a very good one. That'll help you revive your teammates 25% faster. Might not be that big in the early game. You win a gunfight, there isn't anyone near you. You have time to revive, but at the later stages, you're gonna be in 1v2 team fights where it's your team versus two other teams, and then they're fighting each other. If one of your teammates go down, you want to pick them up real quick. And another good one that I recommend is Tracker. The way you want to use this one is essentially you walk into a building, you see where their footsteps are, you know there's someone in there, even though you don't have a heartbeat sensor to use to scan the building ahead of time. You know once you've entered. It's very useful. Battle hardened for multiplayer, also very useful, although less useful. There tends to be less stuns, but still a good one. Now let's talk about the weapons. From multiplayer, M4, MP5, those are great. They still work, although the ranges I find are a bit short. So the way I'd run either of those is I'd have a sniper as my primary, and then only use those for closer engagements. But in general, I try to stay a little bit further back in Warzone, just so I'm not having to take damage and I can take people off guard. So a sniper rifle as your primary is pretty good. The HDR and the AX50 are one shots to the head regardless of range, so they're really good choices. And then I would run a short range AR, say the Ram 7 or an M4 as a secondary for that with overkill. And then as an AR primary class, I would have something a little bit better at long range. I find the Grau is really good, and the Odin is one of my favorites, but the FAL works really well because it's single fire, and you can put a big scope. You can treat it like a sniper rifle, and then have say a P90 or an MP5 as a secondary. That's also a really good setup. And then if you don't want to use that overkill one, I would set up a class with one of the good primaries, say the Ram 7, and then no secondary, and then I would swap to my secondary as soon as I pull out my class, and take whatever I dropped on the ground that I had previously as a close range gun, say SMG, whatever I find really, and then I'll swap around. So I'll have a class with overkill that has a primary and a sniper, and then I'll have just a sniper class, just an AR class, and then some throwaway class that you can mess around with. For example, the AUG with the 5.57 conversion rounds, I've heard is good. I haven't tested out a lot in game, but that's the one I have on my wildcard class right now. And it's good because you get a 60 round mag, a 5.57, and that extends its range. It's pretty good. I would try it out if you haven't. Now let's talk about equipment. What are the essential equipments for grenades? I find that the regular grenades, the frags or semtexes, they work fine. Those are the ones I usually stick to anyways. But the one exception to this is really the heartbeat sensor. I don't like it in multiplayer whatsoever, but in this, man, is it powerful. You can walk up to a building, pull it out. It's better than the tracker perk. You don't have to go in there. You can just pull it out. It scans. You see where they are. You don't see what level they are, but in a 2D plane, you see that, you know, they're in that room or the room above it. You can't compete with that. It's just the information it gives you is so powerful. You need to have it. So they're pretty rare. You need to get it in with your loadout, and you need your loadout to get to that final circle and win the game. Alright, so that's all the information I have to give you today. Now, it's your turn to get out there and use this to fucking win some. If you want to follow me here on YouTube, I'll have more videos to come on Warzone and other cool new games. And then if you want to watch me play live, I'm on Twitch, Mondays and Thursdays, 7 to 9. And I'm also on Twitter if you want to catch me in between games. I'll be on there discussing all the new gaming news, some tech, and whatever is on my mind. So go ahead and give me a follow on whatever social media platform you guys use. I RPG'd the one guy, but I ran out of ammo for my primary.